Breaking Bridget. Someone has been arrested for the Wii Spa indecent exposure complaints.
I fucking hate this story. Again, another incident where you had the mainstream left-wing media establishment running with the idea that this was a hoax. Slate said it was a hoax. They said that this viral video that happened on June 24th, it was a video of a woman going after a man and saying that he had been basically indecently exposed in this woman's part of a spa.
We spa, so it's okay. I just want to be clear with you. It's okay for a man to go into the women's section, show his penis around the other women, young little girls underage,
in front of young women, children, and they were uncomfortable. And then everyone said it was a right-wing hoax. There was a big push that this was some hoax, that somebody went in there and they did this. And then 2 months of protests have happened down there. 2 people were stabbed. It's been crazy. That's always framed as these right-wing. There was a great line in the Guardian article where it was like, women who had signs that said, keep women's spaces safe, were flanked by Proud Boys or something like that. I'm like, the irony of that is hilarious because they're super like men's rights and stuff. It's been a disaster, protests and violence, and all because people were trying to say that this was like a transphobic hoax to try and make trans people look bad. Well, flash forward to recently, and 5 days ago, quietly, charges were pressed against a man who identifies as a woman, who just also so happens to be a sex offender with 2 counts from 2002 and 3 or 3 and 4 and 6 pending from 2018 and now has 5 more. 4 women and a minor filed complaints from the Wii Spa incident. This is insane that people are defending this person as the victim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, how broken are we as a culture? I don't know how you get to a place where you're defending this other than cult-like mentality or fear.
Yeah.
Where you're defending that the person who did this, who is like erect in a woman's spa, that was what the accusation was.
Exposing his penis to teenage girls. Or her penis, whatever you want to say.
Even if you believe that you're a woman or you are a trans woman, the fact that you can't empathize with the fear that you're putting these people in, the fact that you can't empathize with how the women and children might feel in these spaces and that you're going to turn everything around and make it all about you is just evidence of narcissism and psychopathy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not... and total lack of empathy and make it all about you and you're the victim. It's always like reframing all of this argument so that we can diminish the way that women and children feel in these situations and they have to take a back seat to biological males.
Yeah.
And I mean, it makes it like this does break me.
Yeah.
And on top of all of it, this person also had so many felonies.
Yeah.
And you're getting to a place where you're defending a sexual predator.
Yeah.
It makes me want to kill people.
It makes me violent. Yeah. The fact that you can't see how this might cause harm to people because a 12-year-old girl doesn't want to see an erect penis in a spa. You're defending that.
Right.
Like, just be clear that that's what you're defending.
Right.
And then shut the up about how you care about women's rights because you actually don't give a shit about women's rights at all.
Or protecting children and how that girl might be scarred by this experience.
No. There's never any concern for other people. Women and children are always put at the back seat of sociopaths and predators who are manipulating this so that they can be fucking psychopaths.
Right.
And I'm not saying this is true in every single instance, obviously. And so, of course, this freaking sex offender is now approaching Scott Wiener, none other than the guy that we covered last week, who has the whole law so that men can go in women's prisons. And he's approaching him to try and lobby him so that there is an indecent exposure exemption
for trans.
Go f yourself.
Yeah. So that anytime that you're in a place like a spa and you're trans, there's no indecent exposure.
No. Absolutely not. Get the f out of here.
It like breaks me. I just And just the way that it was spun as a hoax, and now everybody's having to retract it, and even the reporter is like, "I regret to retract it." And he's a trans reporter. They are, but it's an activist posing as a reporter, and we need to push back against this. I'm sorry. If it makes me a turf, it makes me a turf. Like, go. I think if you're a decent freaking human being and you're a trans woman, you would still be sensitive to some of the discomfort that people might be when they're just seeing a dick flopping around in a space that's supposed to be dick free.
I know, it's leading us to a very sick place as a society.
How do we even get here as a society? How?
It's
Well, the fact that we're even here is so mind-boggling to me. There are swaths of people defending a sex offender with the accusation that someone like me would be transphobic.
Yeah. It's not even at the place where the emperor has no clothes anymore. It's like other people are taking off their clothes and marching behind the emperor and being like, look at my beautiful clothes.
It's bad. If I was a predator and a fucking sociopath, I would be like, wow, they just handed me the keys to the kingdom. Prisons, spas, I can go anywhere I want. And if anybody calls me out for feeling uncomfortable, the whole society is going to get behind me, the psychopath, and call everyone else transphobic for pushing back. And California law made it so that spa couldn't even do anything that day when people were feeling uncomfortable.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. There need to be spaces where women feel safe.
Yeah.
It's literally getting to the point where it's like, suck a dick or you're a bigot. Like, so, look at my dick, bigot. I mean, go f*** yourself. For real. Just go f*** yourself forever. Call me a turf. I don't care. I don't care. I'm standing up for women. Women!